Welcome back to State of the Nation. Now, the Reform UK party continues to enjoy its lead in the opinion polls as a new YouGov survey puts Nigel Farage's party 2 points ahead of Labour at 27 points to Labour's 25 points. Meanwhile, the Tories remain stuck 6 points behind at 21%, which has given ammunition to Reform UK's argument that they are the new opposition to the Labour government. With this sort of a momentum, could we see a domino effect of defections from the Tories to Reform? Well, I'm joined now by South African businessman and new Reform Party donor, Rob Hersov. Rob, before we go to South Africa, briefly on Reform UK, you've donated to Reform. You were a former Conservative supporter, maybe even a donor. I think you were a donor to the Tories. What made you jump ship?
So I lived in London, I lived in the UK for 25 years, and I was always a Conservative Party member and donor and supporter, and I really believed in them. And a year or so ago, I gave up on them. 14 years in power, and they delivered nothing.
So while they were in power, you gave up on them before the election?
Correct. Because at the end of the day, they delivered nothing in the form of what I believe is true conservatism.
What do you believe that is?
I think it's traditional values. It's not moving into these new woke areas too quickly. It's reviewing things, and it's the Judeo-Christian basis of civilization. It's what made this world great, and it started here.
It's being pragmatic and wanting power. That's why the Tories have been so successful, really.
Correct.
They've not been that principled on things. Just power is what matters.
Exactly. And Boris Johnson was supposed to be the great white hope with the white hair.
Yes.
And he did nothing. He became a climate change activist, and he actually accelerated the evil mind woke virus.
But aren't Reform UK offering simple solutions to complex problems?
Correct.
Yes, but but that's what I mean. Impossible to do if you get into office. I mean, they're able to do it, having never been in power at all.
So Trump's been able to do it on day one with his 100 hours, his executive orders. And I think the Trump of the UK is Nigel Farage.
There's a lesson to be learned, a read across from what Trump's up to with what Farage can do here. But of course, Trump tunnelled into the Republicans, didn't he? Farage is trying to do it outside of the main party, the main right-wing party.
And I know everyone's talking about Farage being the true conservative with conservative values, and he's going to pull the Tories to the right. And that's probably a good thing. And who knows, maybe there'd be a merger of the two.
Do you think there might be? Have you heard about it?
I haven't heard about it. Jordan Peterson did say so today, and he said it would be a good thing.
Did he? Well, the talk on the street is of the right coming together under one flag.
And I think why? The Tories have a big bench. They have a lot of very good people. And, Nigel has not yet announced his bench. He's got some good people, but he doesn't.
We don't know who his bench are. There are only 5 MPs. We don't even know whose welfare secretary is, culture, home. We don't know who anyone is. I mean, that's kind of alarming, isn't it? Wasn't the UK normally have an opposition that could slide into power if they have to?
And I mean, one move would be that some of the big gorillas of the Tory party move to Reform, or Reform merges with the Tories. But either way, that would be a good thing for the UK.
You live in South Africa. You're worried about that country, aren't you?
It's on the edge of the abyss.
Why is that?
The world seems to be swinging against the woke, the left, the madness of the Greens. But South Africa is going the other way. And a week ago, our president, Cyril Ramaphosa of the African National Congress, the ANC, signed into law expropriation without compensation.
What does that mean?
It means that they can take any property, not just land, they can take any property without compensation from anyone in the country. And if you want to scare away foreign direct investment, you sign a bill, sign as a law, expropriation without compensation.
Is that happening now then?
Madness.
Is money fleeing South Africa?
It has been for the last 10, 15 years, but it's an acceleration now. And Trump announced 10 days ago that he's had enough of South Africa, and he's going to turn his blowtorch or baseball bat onto South Africa, and that's a good thing.
Well, it doesn't need. I mean, that's a bully boy tactic, isn't it? I mean, South Africa needs everyone's support. It's been through a lot politically over.
No, it needs a bully boy tactic because the ANC government is destroying the country. In 30 years,
so for viewers who are not aware of the politics, the one party has been in power for 30 years.
In 1994, apartheid ended. We had democratic elections, and the ANC, the African National Congress, was voted into power. They've been in control of the country for 30 years. All of our state-owned enterprises are bankrupt, and in every single metric, employment, health, education, we've gone backwards. They're a disaster, and it's not going to be fixed internally.
So what is the solution? I mean, democracy, this government has been voted in for 30 years. Do you want a new party set up to take him on?
2024,
a Trump figure to be...
We desperately need that. In 2024, the national election, the ANC fell below 50% for the first time, 41%, and formed not even a coalition, a combined government with the other parties, the non-hardcore left parties. But that government is going nowhere, this GNU government.
So it's a reminder.
It's a mess.
It's a reminder, isn't it, that we think we obsess about Trump and Musk in this country, but of course he's having effects across the world.
Well, I'm hoping he'll have a very positive effect on South Africa because we need help.
Yeah. And how will you get that? Will there be a Trump figure? Have you thought one in mind who might?
I have one in mind. He actually appeared on GB News a few months ago.
Right. Who is it?
His name's Gayton McKenzie.
Right. He's the one to watch, is he?
He's the one to watch.
Is ANC left-wing, right-wing? How would you describe it in terms of UK politics?
Kleptocratic, ineptocratic, trained by the Soviets, socialists.
Does that make them then?
That makes them left. But we've got worse. We've got hard left in the EFF and MK who are publicly saying, kill the whites, kill the farmers. It's bad. South Africa's in bad shape.
Of course, we have lots of people. We think fondly of South Africa. I think there are connections with that country, so we will wish it well from here. I mean, and it can will it be able to fight back from this?
Who knows? Who knows? We need you to ride to the rescue, but I think Trump is riding to the rescue. We'll see.
Well, Rob Hersov, thanks for joining us tonight on State of the Nation. Rob has been attending the conference the ARC conference in central London. Members of the ARC Advisory Board include investors in GB News. Thank you, Rob, for coming on tonight. We do appreciate it. Up next.